You've tuned in to Chip Grooves Radio with Mike and Jesse.
Anything crazy since our last record?
I was talking to, actually, it's funny. I was talking to our dear friend, John, of Nasty Graham fame, just about different, flight control, simulator, options, setup options for joystick and, thrusters and stuff like that. Not because I'm interested in playing flight sims, but because my son has been having a little bit of, has been having fun off and on playing MechWarrior 5 on my PC. And it kind of breaks my heart to see him playing with a keyboard and mouse. That's just not the way that those games are meant to be played. And I know people that play MechWarrior 5, they use mouse and keyboard because it's basically just a shooter. I get it, but it's not as immersive.
You got to feel like you're in the cockpit.
It's not as immersive, and it brings back a lot of great memories of playing MechWarrior 2, MechWarrior 3, especially with my venerable Microsoft Sidewinder Force Feedback Pro keyboard or joystick rather, back when PCs still had a game port that basically looked like a printer port but was a smaller cable, used specifically for joysticks and stuff like that. Yeah, I had to try and emulate that for my son. I don't think that modern flight sim controls have force feedback. That's too unrealistic for them, I'm sure. But yeah, this should be fun. I was working on getting some of the settings, arranged, so to speak. And unsurprisingly, these things are not necessarily as plug and play as one might think. So there was a little bit of setup that I had to do.
Do you remember, I'm sure you do, being a MechWarrior fan, but do you remember Steel Battalion?
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't. Do you remember that ridiculous controller they came out with?
Yes. I do.
I saw that at GameStop when that came out. I was like, what the fuck is this thing?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I'd completely forgotten about that until you just mentioned it. But yeah, it had that unique controller just for that one stupid game.
Yeah, it had pedals, and it had for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it was literally you were in the cockpit of a mech. The keyboard and joystick spanned, I would say, 45 degrees. So it was in front of you at 3 different angles, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And you had to utilize 2 hands to control this thing and hit buttons at the appropriate moment. I think I never played it. I wanted to, looking at that controller, but it must not have done very well because you don't hear much about it.
Yeah.
I think they could do something like that now. And what you showed me today is pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a lot of buttons and switches and knobs and dials, and it's going to take some time to figure it out. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I did actually figure, since I finally bought one of these big, flight control sim setups, I had to get more than a game that I was actually going to play them with. And I'd been thinking about picking up the newest game in the Elite series. I don't know if you've ever heard of those, but
I have.
Yeah.
The intro to that first Elite Dangerous intimidated the hell out of me. I stopped playing really quick.
Yep.
Not because I'm not intrigued by it. It sounds amazing. It just has a steep learning curve.
Yeah, I think one of the very first PC games that I ever played, I actually played at my friend Josh's house way back in the day. I think it was Frontier Elite 2. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so it was the second Elite game, and it's ancient. I mean, the game came out in 1993, so very, very rudimentary graphics. But I mean, man, it hooked me right from jump. I mean, you get a spaceship and you get to take off from a planet and go out into the galaxy, and yeah, evidently, Elite Dangerous has the entire Milky Way coded, and there's like big gigantic space anomalies and, you know,
How do
black
they do
holes
that?
and all sorts of crazy stuff like that. So I don't know how long I'll actually play because, to your point, they are very intimidating games, but I'm very much looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast from the past.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing quite like a space exploration game where you just get to zone out and explore things. But whew, I mean, that is so top tier. You need to know exactly what every button does. You need to be on the ball with just how to fly the ship. I want to learn it, but it's very, very intimidating. So
yeah. And I know
I have not gotten around to it.
I played X Beyond the Frontier, which is another like space sim game. And there's a bunch of games in that series. I think the most recent one is X4 Foundations, which I'm pretty sure I own and I've just never played. Like, it's one of those things that you just buy on like a Steam sale. You get all excited and then you just never actually play the game.
But you got it cheap.
How many of those I have?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Good wintertime stuff because, you know, you're just going to end up spending a little bit more time indoors and doing something a little more engaging and sort of like, you know, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't matter. Doing something a little bit more like engaging and all encompassing, something that really feels like an experience is just pretty cool.
Yeah. Get to zone out while the snow falls outside and drink a nice cup of cocoa.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that. But yeah, I mean, I haven't been playing anything new per se, but I have been going through the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. I finally picked those up, and I'm having a blast, especially considering I'm doing a majority of my leveling up at work in between phone calls. But that's a good time. They did a really nice job bringing those games to the modern era and making them move a little bit quicker if you need them to. And it's a good stuff. I had never finished Final Fantasy 1 or 2. I have them both, but never actually sat down with them for a long, long time. And those are very short games. I was surprised. But yeah, I'm having fun. I'm on Final Fantasy IV as we speak, and I'll be hopefully making my way through the SNES titles.
So you're just kind of playing them through in order?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Gotta
really
play through them.
I've played a redo. I've played a remake of Final Fantasy 1. I think I played like the iOS remake, and it was great. Really, great games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, to your point earlier, you're just downloading games and then never getting around to them. I believe that's exactly what happened for that game. I downloaded them on iOS and I never got around to it.
I looked it up while we were sitting here. I do not own X4. I own X3, but I'm not going to buy X4 because I still have to play Elite Dangerous and MechWarrior 5 Clans. Gonna be fun.
Excellent.
Anyway.
Well, you brought something to my attention yesterday.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy XIV Mobile.
Yeah, it's wild.
Well, this blew my mind when you sent it to me. So, yeah, what are you thinking about this? I watched the introduction video by Naoki Yoshida, and he seems pretty excited about it. So it looks cool, but I don't know about an MMO on my phone.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, I watched the trailer. It didn't really. It says that basically they're trying to recreate mostly like the story beats, daily quests, they call them duties in the game, routine battle content from the original game. I don't think that the mobile version is really intended to be something that you can do like raid encounters or like high-end boss fights or, anything like that with. I don't know if they're intending to appeal to a market of mobile gamers who might use even like iPads, or like tablets, not even just phones, as to try and increase subscriber count and just get folks into the game that couldn't have played at all. Or I'm assuming that's probably the reason for launching a whole new version of the game. But then, there's also maybe folks that already play on PS5 or PC or whatever will be able to use the mobile version and I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I don't really know if you can play the same character in the mobile version that you do in the PC game. It seems like they're independent games.
That's what I think.
Crossover kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
I saw technical writing about it that was basically saying something about a new adventure. So I'm thinking it is an offshoot. I don't think it's going to be integrated into the console and PC versions of the game.
Gotcha.
That's just my perception of it, but
yeah, that's most likely the case. I know that they've, like, for Final Fantasy XI, and I think they had this for Final Fantasy XIV as well, that you could do like mobile stuff like on your phone in a little like sub game that would then give you special currency, or you'd be able to buy special cosmetics for the main game. I don't know if they're going to do that, possibly.
Tell you what they're going to do.
What's that?
Microtransactions.
Maybe. I mean, it says in here that they're not intending on doing like gotcha elements, which is good to see.
I hope to God not.
Yeah, but, I mean, it says right in the announcement that they're not intending on implementing any gotcha type elements into the game. I don't know how they're planning on running it, because it says that it's supposed to be free to play. So, I mean, there's got to be some way to make money on it. Maybe it's ad supported. I have no idea, but very interesting.
I'm sure every costume in that game is going to be $5.
Hey, probably. As long as it's not like loot crates. I fucking hate loot crates so much. Oh my God.
Yeah.
They're the worst. The worst.
Stupid.
So good luck to them in their new, endeavor. Yeah. I mean, trying to appeal to the mobile market, I think, is smart. As much as I dislike the idea that mobile gaming is seemingly the way of the future, and it's the thing that's really grown the most over the last couple of years. I think that finding ways to embrace it, but also inject kind of more traditional video game content like this MMO, or like a, like a pixel remaster style Final Fantasy is a little more appealing to me than like the mindless, gotcha fests that are every other mobile game out there.
And I don't think this will be that, but I think we're at a point now in technology where you can have a console in your hand, and you pretty much do with mobile gaming. So it's really just a matter of how do we integrate a game into a controller, but you're taking it with you on the go. So you're not holding your phone while you're playing it. You're playing it with a controller, or I mean, we're there. So it's just a matter of making modern gaming be accessible in a more traditional way, I think. Mobile gaming and regular gaming has pretty much been a thing since 2007 at this point, but I kind of pushed back against it when it first started, when iPhones and Androids first came out. I was like, mobile games aren't games. I was being a real bitch about it, but it's obviously very different than it was back then. So we're there. I'm pretty positive that Xbox is going to do their next console as like a dongle for your TV. I'm almost positive that's going to happen. And that's pretty much the way gaming is going to go. It's no longer going to be console only. It's not going to be PC only. It's going to be where do you have a controller? Okay, you can pick up and play. Yeah.
I mean, when I went on vacation with my wife in September, I took my iPad, and then I specifically bought an iOS compatible Bluetooth controller so that I could play stuff like on the plane, because I didn't want to have to be goofing around on the screen with my finger. I wanted to play stuff that was going to be, a little more like a traditional game. And I think that if there is an opportunity to do something like you said, like a dongle that has some amount of hardware in it and a controller, maybe even a controller that has a little dock for the dongle in it. I mean, that's,
I'm sure it's cool. Yeah. And to that point about my experience with Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster, I'm controlling my PlayStation from my phone while I'm at work on breaks and stuff, and during my lunch, and playing this game. So, I mean, we're there. It's just a matter of how we implement the stuff, I guess, the hardware.
Yeah. Pretty cool stuff. Way of the future, Mike. We got to fight it, or we got to roll with it.
I think I'm
at the roll with it point.
Yep. As long as we got games nearby. So we go from one Naoki to another Naoki.
Yeah.
Naoki Kodaka today has composed the soundtrack of the day, and that is Uncle Fester's Quest.
So what were your first thoughts when I suggested this game? You've never played this, right, Mike?
I've never played this. I'm well aware
had you
of
heard
it.
of it. You were aware of it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So before you listened to the soundtrack, what were your thoughts on what you were gonna hear?
I'll tell you what my thoughts were. I was like, well, this isn't going to go well. You mentioned it. You pitched it as like a kind of a humorous kind of short episode. And I was like, yeah, I'm game for that. You know, that sounds cool. There probably isn't much there. And then I looked it up to go listen to it. And I'm like, Naoki Kodaka. And all my doubts just kind of melted away because this is the guy you want behind your soundtrack, especially on an NES title. He is the heavy hitter of Sunsoft. And immediately when I saw that he composed this, I was like, okay, there's going to be some good stuff on here, even though the soundtrack itself is maybe 12 minutes.
Yeah, it's very short.
Oh, man. Good stuff, though. I mean, what brought this game to your... I mean, have you played it? Do you have a history with it? Is that why you... Okay.
I owned a copy of it. I don't know why I owned a copy of it, because I was never a huge Addams Family fan as a kid. Mm-hmm. If anybody doesn't know who Uncle Fester is, I mean, there could be folks out there. He is one of the characters from the Addams Family TV show and all the different, movies and stuff like that. I wasn't really that familiar with the Addams Family when I got it, and it certainly wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It's a very bizarre game. Have you watched any like long plays or anything? It's wild. Yeah.
Well, I just want to look something up real quick.
Sure.
The Addams Family TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the 60s?
I don't know. It's had a couple of iterations. My first exposure to the Addams Family was the movie with Raul Julia.
Yep.
Right. And oh, good Lord, how can I not remember the actress that plays Morticia's name? Oh, my God.
Oh, how dare you.
I know. She was like first crush kind of material there. Oh, that's terrible. All right. Now I have to look something up. Oh, my God. This is embarrassing. Angelica Houston, right? Is that who it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, it came to me as I was typing. All right, cool. I don't feel so bad now.
Yeah, okay. So the most interesting thing about this, for me, about this game, is that it is based off the 1960s television show, which so the Addams Family had been out of the zeitgeist for at least 25 years at this point. The movies hadn't come out with Raul Julia. That's what I wanted to check.
The Raul Julia movies had come out because that was 1990.
No, that was 91,
right? Oh,
and this is 89.
Oh no, you're right. Oh wow, how about that?
So that's what's most intriguing to me about this. That this guy pushed so hard. And I did a little digging. The guy who came up with this came to him in a dream.
The idea for the game.
Came to him in a dream.
Wow. All right.
And he flew to Japan to talk to the people at Sunsoft to get this greenlit.
Okay.
So whatever. That is what's most intriguing about this game, is that he's thinking about a 25-year-old TV show. Not to say that's not a thing. I have a podcast dedicated to the X-Files. We're approaching 30 years. That's fine. But he felt compelled to make a video game based off of it, and a video game that resembles the TV show in no way. That was his dream.
Yeah.
But he got it done.
Yeah. It's wild. Like the plot for this game, I had to look this up ahead of time because I'm like, what was even the reason that this game, like, what was the story? What was going on?
Right.
And the whole plot of the game is that there's a night when a UFO appears and beams up all of the people that live in the city where the Addams Family live, except for the members of the family. And
of course,
Grandmama was able to predict the invasion, cast a protective spell on their home, and that's why the family doesn't get sucked up into space. And then as the father of the family, Gomez Addams has to stand guard at home from the invaders, so it's up to Uncle Fester to use his gun that looks like
A bazooka, like a
no, you know what it looks like? It looks like the horn from
Yeah.
a phonograph. Yeah.
Yep.
To save the townspeople from the aliens. That's the premise for the game. It in no way resembles the TV show or the comic series at all. It's wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
Well, I mean, you take all that and you throw in a composer like Naoki Kodaka, and he's not going to let you down.
No.
This was a paycheck for him. And like we said, maybe 12 minutes of music. And I was surprised at least 3 of the tracks. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing that this is on this game of all games. But I think he utilizes his talents to create songs that they demonstrate a plethora of style, and like I mentioned at the Kodaka block a couple years ago, that episode, he utilizes the sound chip very well. He does have a team because he writes the music down as traditional sheet music, and then a couple other people translate it into the Nest sound chip, which is cool in and of itself. It's like a little Kodaka team there. And I think it really comes out on top. I mean, you can see that there's actual production that goes into this. He's put a lot of thought into the songs, and he's just able to get sounds and compositions that you wouldn't and don't normally hear on the NES out of the system. Like you can tell when it's a Naoki Kodaka soundtrack, and this is no different.
Yeah, it's like I don't think that there are many other games on the NES system that the music, honest to goodness, sounds like it is being played by a band. Like there's, you can hear the whole freaking drum set in some of the songs in this album. It's wild. I mean, we're going to get there in a sec, but like the production value that went into this soundtrack is staggering, especially considering it was like a weirdo licensed game that you would think going into it, the music would all just be like ripoffs of the Addams Family music. But even the intro, well, like the menu music for the title screen that has the Addams Family music playing in the background, it's like just such a cool version of it. It's great.
Absolutely. He took, and this is again a thing where back in the 80s you were creating a video game to sell a movie pretty much. And they weren't handled with as much respect as maybe they would be now. But instead of just taking the theme and putting it through an NES sound chip, he made it this jaunty, groovy tune, put his little spin on it. It's still the Addams Family theme, but it's highly addictive. It's very fun to listen to. It's not abrasive, and it's not like you know exactly what to expect. You generally know what to expect, but he puts his own spin on it, and it comes out really well.
It's almost like a mashup between like the Addams Family theme and music from like the original Mega Man. Like that's the kind of vibe that it gives me. It's anyway, cool stuff. So what song do you want to talk about, Mike?
Well, we're only going to cover a couple because let's be honest, there's not much
on here.
We can't play everything, but I really wanted to draw attention to Outside. So where you roam the streets, it is probably the song you hear the most on the album. It's essentially the overworld theme. And for anyone who doesn't know, this game plays pretty much like Sunsoft's other classic title, Blaster Master. When you go through the dungeons, you're not in the tank anymore, you're walking around with a gun. Almost identical. You're looking at Uncle Fester from an isometric top-down view as you use your gun to blast enemies. And the song itself is an up-tempo adventure theme with a relatively straight and sustained melody, but it takes some chances, complete with a bass interlude at the very end of the loop. Overall, it's a great song. It cannot be overlooked on this album. And the first thing I thought, or caught myself thinking, was, what the hell is this doing on this soundtrack?
Yeah. I don't know who the drummer is that's playing this song in the band, but he is amazing. the drums and the percussion are just off the scale. They're so good.
Yeah. And that's one thing he has been, Kodaka in general, has been very successful at, is having extremely catchy drum beats in his songs, even from Blaster Master to Batman to Journey to Silius and to Fester's Quest. Extremely up-tempo, exciting songs to listen to. And this song just fits right in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this is, aside from the intro music and the title screen, this is not only, like you said, the first song that you hear, but probably the song that you hear the most in the entire game. Also, I think that this might actually be the song that plays when you fight the last boss, which is kind of bizarre, but
it is.
The beat still works, and it's just as exciting. So, hey, if it works, don't mess with it, right?
Don't mess with it. I mean, and that's a key thing, is it's very fun to listen to, and you almost forget that it's the same song you've been hearing all game. So it's a good time.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think we had talked about briefly the Mothership song.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's like the hands down standout. Like, this is the song on the soundtrack for me. Yeah, the boss battle Mothership.
Oh man, this is where it approaches epic status because of the way it starts, and then again with those not blast beats, but those drums in the beginning where they kind of start and stop, and then okay, here comes the melody. It's going to be a really fun time, and this is of course for the final area. It's not the final boss, but you're on the UFO here. And Kodaka took special care here because he created something kind of not frightening, but you can feel the sinister nature of the song. And he's got a really nice melody once the drums kick in. It's so fun to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, like, this could be the final boss song to basically any game on the NES. The beat is so good. It's so intense. It keeps you so engaged. And the loop just doesn't really get old. You know, I mean, like,
no,
it really ratchets up the tension. And I don't particularly remember how difficult the last boss was in this game. I think I only beat it like one time. But nice. Hey, the song is a killer. And I think it's kind of funny because, you know, one of the things that you mentioned was, you know, what made you think of this game? And I don't necessarily think that it was that I remember the game as being particularly good. It's just this song and the Outside Street song that stuck in my memory. And then I think I heard a band do a cover of the Mothership boss battle music. Nice. And it sounded incredible. Like incredible. I'm like, okay, this, I might need to revisit this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's one thing these two songs that we've mentioned cover, they have a good ability at resembling like an 80s action film aesthetic with the drums, the percussion. Very, very nostalgic in that sense, where the drums are so powerful. They provide the stings for the songs. It's like you're watching a chase scene sometimes, and it's really exciting to listen to while you're playing this game. And even though I've never played it, I was watching some long plays today, and it's exciting, but it doesn't match what you're seeing on screen. So
no,
I mean, the soundtrack definitely outshines the material, but I mean, what can you really expect from such a middling game? I think the truth behind this is that aside from the polarizing game itself, it's not half bad. I mean, it plays well. It looks like it plays well. Is it a little bit frustrating? Yeah, I could see that. But the game itself has a clear goal. It's not one of those overly confusing games. It's got simple gameplay mechanics, and the music just fucking jams when it needs to. Kodaka knows his shit.
It really does.
He keeps you moving throughout the game, and he maintains your interest. He brings down the mood a little bit in the underground sewers, but even that still maintains some style. And for an album that's so short, it doesn't give Kodaka room to breathe, but somehow he's still stuffed in here like at least 3 songs that are like, okay, I'm putting these on my greatest hits because I love to listen to them, and I've listened to the soundtrack at least 3 times today, which was like less than an hour of my life. But he delivered an exceptional product for what the game is, and it also has one very important element, Jesse. And we talked about it on Clash at Demon Head. You tell me what that element of this soundtrack is.
Percussion? I don't know.
No.
I always seem like I always say percussion. What's the element? Go ahead.
It's not annoying. So what this game shares with Clash at Demon Head is very few songs, and songs that you will hear for long stretches of time. From the beginning to the end of this game, you will hear at least 1 or 2 of these tracks for extended periods of time, over and over, and they never get old. When I was watching the video, I was not upset or bothered about what I was listening to because the songs are that good to just listen to. They're engaging, they're fun, they're exciting. They don't take away necessarily from the experience by being, of course they're repetitive, of course they're looped, but they're not grating on your ears in any sense of the word, and you forget that you've been hearing the same song the whole game. So kudos to Kodaka there.
Yeah, I mean, it's really something to take a goofy premise like this and just come up with a soundtrack that, quite frankly, is really unique. And it doesn't fit the theme of the game at all. Like, if we were going to give a rating for how well does this soundtrack encapsulate the Addams Family, he would probably get like a 1 out of 10. And it's only because he got the intro music to the menu screen right, and he got the little jingle that happens when you die right, and that's pretty much it. Yep. In terms of like a killer soundtrack and something that, quite frankly, I think there's enough room to expand into, a larger work. There's enough meat on the bone there that I think that he could really do something special with it.
It was just Kodaka doing what he does. It was not, as much as we might joke about these songs not belonging to a game like this, and I even wrote here in my notes, these songs have no business being on a game like this, because they feel like they're ripped straight from Batman for the NES. Journey to Silius. These songs could fit in either of those games, and you wouldn't even notice. And I mean, it elevates the game. These songs really elevate the game. I venture to say, and while doing research for this album, I found out that there's a like 50-50. You either love this game or you hate it between the fans or the gamers. And I was surprised about that because, again, watching it didn't seem bad. It just, it's not Addams Family in any respect. So I don't know. Haven't played it myself, but you can shine light on that, whether or not it's good.
It's incredibly hard. It's one of those NES games that's just the difficulty scale is off the chart, especially for a young kid. Some of the bosses are like completely off the chain. Like, come on.
Well, I would say what my point is that this soundtrack keeps it from being in the trash pile, right?
Yeah.
And do I think the game itself belongs in the trash pile? No. But this soundtrack definitely keeps it well away from that, because it's one of those things where, you have to take everything into account when you evaluate a game, and the soundtrack is great, and you want to revisit this game because of the soundtrack. and it is playable. At least it looked playable to me. So
it is playable. Yes.
if you were going to rate this little fun sprint of a game soundtrack, what would you give it?
I'm going to say that this jaunty little soundtrack, I'm going to give it like a solid 8 out of 10 vice grips. Because that's what items that I remember from the game. I don't know how a vice grip is a weapon or an item that you can use in an action game, but it is. So there you go.
Well, God damn it is. Well, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 as well. And I was actually going to give it an 11 out of 10. Simply because the music in those 3 songs is so good. I'm talking the title screen, Outside in the Streets, and the Mothership, that all I wanted was more. And the fact that he put this kind of material on a game like this just blew my mind. So kudos to Kodaka. I'm going to stick with 8 out of 10 because that's more realistic. Despite the game's lacking success and sense, it doesn't really make sense. You can't take away from what the soundtrack is. And it's just a good time to listen to. You're not going to miss out on anything. If you listen to it, it's not going to take your life away. It's 12 minutes long. Give it a listen, ladies and gentlemen. If you like chip tunes, this one should not escape your library.
Definitely not.
And I have added at least two tracks to my video game best of playlist. So good call on the soundtrack today.
Yeah, I thought it's funny because it wasn't, when I went back and actually listened to it, I don't think that I expected it to be as good and as fun. I think really that's it, is it's fun,
Yeah.
As it really is. And I was looking at Kodaka's other works, and it kind of makes I think that I'm probably going to have to listen to like the Gremlins 2 soundtrack, the new.
Yeah, I have not listened to that.
I played the crap out of that game when I was a kid. It was so much fun. And that's like a legitimately good game. It generally well regarded by fans. And hey, maybe that soundtrack is just as good as this one was. So
that one must be hiding
after we're off the call.
Tell you what, though, I will be looking up his entire catalog because every time I come across him, I'm blown away by something. So
yeah, there's some good stuff on there for sure. But I mean, you've already covered Blaster Master, right?
Well, I did a Naoki Kodaka block.
Yeah, the block. Yeah.
Yeah. So I took a couple tracks from Blaster Master, Batman, and Journey to Silius, and just kind of did like a Kodaka appreciation episode for those 3 games because they were so short. And obviously, we're back talking about him again. So great composer. If I'm not mistaken, and I have not checked this today, but I believe when I did that episode, he's a teacher at an institute in Japan for music. So
hey,
I would love to have his class and shake his hand. So very talented man. I don't believe you can buy this anywhere. Again, granted, being a 12-minute soundtrack, or I don't think you'll see a vinyl release incoming anytime soon. So search the internet, search for a long play, if anything. Give it a listen. I'm sure you can find it. And enjoy your lunch break at work. Yeah,
definitely. It's good stuff. I'm happy you enjoyed this as much as I did because I was a little suspicious when I pitched this one, but no, it worked out great.
It did. I was delightfully surprised because I audibly laughed a little bit when you sent it over. I was like, oh, okay, we'll do this. And then, once you look up who composed it, all bets are off.
Yeah, it's funny. Now, out of curiosity, while we're talking, I looked up the Gremlins 2 soundtrack and started listening to it. It's just as good as I expected it to be. It's awesome.
Well, now I gotta go look at it. God damn it.
Yeah, it's great.
Coming up next week, Gremlins 2. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I was such a sucker for that movie, too. I watched it so much as a kid. Oh, my gosh.
I haven't seen that in forever.
Yeah. I think it was that was the right age for me as a little kid, because the first Gremlins movie, especially if you're too young, it's pretty freaking scary.
It's dark, yeah.
And plus there's a whole scene in it where they talk about like Santa's, like her dad dressing up as Santa and dying because he tried sliding down the chimney, breaking his neck and getting stuck in there for 2 weeks. I'm like, bro, what is going on? So
It was definitely, I believe Spielberg produced that, right?
I believe he did. And I remember there was this big controversy when it came out because it was in the, it was actually one of the movies that wasn't the inspiration for the creation of the rating system.
Yeah.
Because there was no indication before the movie in the trailers that it was going to be that scary. It was almost pitched as like a kids movie. So there were a bunch of kids that went to the theater, and there were these terrifying little gremlins literally killing people in the movie, and a whole scene about Santa Claus dying and not being real. So you can imagine that didn't play too well with the parents.
I remember Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom was why we have PG-13, because Spielberg did not want it to be rated R.
Yep.
That's nuts. But yes, up there with Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom is Gremlins for causing the rating system.
2 is just goofy and funny and, lighthearted, which is why I watched that so much.
Good stuff. All right. Well, thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. Like we said, it's going to be a little bit shorter of an episode, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
What are you going to do?
Short soundtrack. What are you going to do? Tune in next time, and we will do something a little bit longer. I'm not sure what that is yet, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Thank you for listening. If you liked what you heard, please rate and subscribe. We very much appreciate it. Also visit our brand new website, magusmediaproductions.net, to get all information on every show. See you next time.
Well, hello there, Internet people. My name is Josh, and I am one of the hosts of the Nastagram RPG podcast. We're an actual play podcast, and we're good. And why are we good? Well, let's let the other host tell you. Dan.
Hey, everyone. If you like authentic, real-world sound effects, our lasers go pew-pew.
I love it. Matt.
Skip me. Coming back to Matt.
Ryan.
Okay, so after 2 decades of trying, we finally mastered the 3.5 grapple. We didn't.
Never mind.
Try again.
Scratch that.
Check it out.
Look it up.
John.
If you're looking for a RPG podcast that plays a whole hell of a lot of games, we like to spice the life.
Spice it up.
Spice it up.
Matt, you ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. If you enjoy bad accents and overacting, you'll enjoy our podcast.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
And Jake, bring us home.
I like to just say we didn't just throw a phone on the table and hit record. Like, Josh does a damn good job with the editing. And
Facts.
if you care about that, you will not be disappointed.
That's right. We spent a bunch of money that we don't make on the podcast.
100%.
So check us out, Nastagram RPG Podcast. You can find us on all the goddamn podcast apps, and we'll see you there.
That's nasty.